also improve our indigenous military companies such as PT Pindad, PT Paul, PT Dirgantara Indonesia, PT Dahana, and PT Land Industry, and also PT Lunar Industry Invest uh, that can produce our own military equipment inside the country. That also decrease the cost of the tools or the military spend on military equipment that we buy from another country because if you buy from our own company inside our country, the cost will be less expensive than we buy in outside our country in foreign military industry. And for example, PayPal Indonesia, PayPal currently can making and produce our fast attack missile craft that built inside our country, and that's really helpful because our own navy already purchased and buy five of them, and currently they're gonna release the sixth one. So another thing's example is PayPal is currently increased their capability of building a submarine to 65%, and we need more 35% capability or a transfer of technology from another country with the defense cooperation to in order to make our country can make our own indigenous submarine or making submarine inside our country uh, independently. So Indonesia also, our country, Indonesia also increased our defense budget to $7 billion, from $7 billion to $9 billion, but it's only 0.9% of our GDP, and it's not big because our economy or our budget is more rely or more bigger on another field, such as, for example, the Ministry of Health, Ministry of Infrastructure, and others. So Indonesia is also making a plan that called minimum essential force that uh, renew or remake each 5 years, that government and Ministry of Defense will help or should have to complete it. But with a small budget, many of the with smaller budget, many of the plan didn't complete. So that's why we need to increase our mm, defense and military budget. Last year in 2021 and in February 2022, we also signed a contract to buy 42 units of Rafale fighter jet from France, and also several memorandum of understanding of MOU. We also do the cooperation agreement with the several countries like Malaysia, Philippines, and France, and also America to do military exercise. So that's why military or diplomacy is really important to make to in order to strengthen our country in every aspect, in every military aspect. There are also many conflicts in this world that happen even in ancient time. For example, war in the era of Egypt Empire, Roman Empire, Majapahit Empire, Chinese Empire, and even in modern wars such as World War I, World War II, Afghanistan, Iraq, and now Ukraine with Russia. Also, the current tension in several years in South China Sea, and it all happened because of a human ego and interest to conquer another country and conquer another place, to conquer another land for their own interest. But what we see now, it's too late because there are really many threats. For example, a nuclear threat. So we cannot ask or want another country to destroy uh, their military equipment because it might be really dangerous, such as Russia and America. They have really, really many uh, nuclear warfare, nuclear capability, nuclear equipment. That's why we should